Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show, and I don't want to hear anyone complaining anymore that housing is too expensive. I hear this all the time, but
real estate prices are so high and inventory is so low and interest rates are so high, and how is it possible for millennials or Gen Z to ever be able to afford a house?
Well, guess what, guys? I got the solution. It's been here all in front of us this entire time, and that would be $1 houses in Italy. Yeah, you heard me correctly. This has been a thing, really as of 2018, that small Italian villages are testing out this new concept of selling homes for $1. Now, the whole premise behind this is that a lot of these towns are seeing a dwindling population. They want to revitalize them. They want to bring new tourists to the area. So they're selling off these homes for $1. Like, you could literally go and buy one of these houses for the low cost of, like I said, less than the cost of a McDonald's soft drink. Now, the catch, of course, is that you have to actually go and remodel it. So you're not getting like this fancy mansion in some, Italian village overlooking the coast. You're getting a fixer, but it is $1. And in this video, CNBC follows up with people who actually did just that and bought a $1 house. And we'll see exactly how expensive it is as soon as you hit the like button and subscribe, because this one is quite interesting. Enjoy.
In the late 2010s, towns around Italy started going viral for selling off crumbling properties for €1. The €1 purchase is symbolic and just the start of more expenses down the line.
Yeah, so here's the thing, okay? It's going to be way cheaper doing this than building your own house in the United States. It's going to be way cheaper doing this than going and buying, a really inexpensive property in Detroit and trying to revitalize that. This is going to be it. But the catch is that you basically need to be a digital nomad or retired to be able to truly do this. Because my assumption, or my understanding with a lot of these areas, there's not a lot of work. So you have to come in with the work to be able to make something like this worth it. But again, we'll continue.
This is the town of Sambuca di Sicilia. In 2019, it went viral for auctioning off old homes starting at €1.
My name is Meredith Chabone, and I am 44 years old. In June of 2019, I purchased one of the €1 homes.
They're not even the first to do it. There was a town, it was called Ullalai. This was back in the beginning of 2018, like end of 2017, 2018. Ullalai. Again, I apologize if this is pronounced the wrong way, but they started doing this, was successful. Other towns started implementing it as well, was successful, and some people just got smoking deals.
It was the same village that my great-grandfather came from in 1902 to the United States. Unfortunately, he was never able to return to Sambuca once he left, and I am the first person in our family to return to this village and to start to rebuild our family name here.
That's so cool. I mean, that's meant to be at that point. When you see something like that, how could you not place a bid for €1? Just €1. It's basically like they go up and they ask people on the street, like, hey, how much pocket change do you have on you? Yeah? €1? Okay, well, here are the keys to your brand new house. Enjoy. And they just throw it and run away. That's really what they're doing here. But, like I said, I think there's a lot of potential.
Cost for the original €1 home with taxes and fees was about €5,900.
Meredith decided to buy the building next door for €22,000 through a private sale.
All right, so a few things I just want to clarify here. One is that even though it is technically €1, they do tack on a whole bunch of fees associated with that. It can't just be €1 and all the documents, the legal documents are drafted up by attorneys and, title companies and escrow companies to make this conveyance legal. It's going to be €1 for the cost of the house, plus thousands of euros, I'll just say dollars from now on, thousands of dollars of fees on top of that to make that €1 legal, okay? There's going to be some, quite a few fees. The other issue that I've noticed with properties like this is because it's really one building in a lot of these cases that's then divided up in the middle. So you are sharing a common wall with your neighbor. And that kind of means that if your neighbor is neglecting their property, if your neighbor has leaks, you're going to have a leak. If your neighbor has problems, you're going to have problems. So a lot of times it makes sense to buy what's around you so you could better control water intrusion, structural components. You want to make sure that your entire space is good. And by buying neighbors, you do a better job at doing that.
So I'm at the end of my renovation, and the estimated completion amount is 425,000 euro.
Yeah, from €1 to $475,000. Again, you gotta have money going into this. Now, I have a feeling she's probably under what the place is worth today, I would hope. Otherwise, she just got shafted on that one. But it looks beautiful. You got to see this.
We are now in my dining room, which turned out so great. We are in the downstairs primary bedroom. It's the biggest bedroom in the home.
This is beautiful. You could tell she spent a lot of money on this, and whoever the designer is of this, it did a fantastic job. I mean, it's elegant, it's clean, it's sophisticated, and I think it really accentuates the space. I think it's perfect, and rarely do I ever say that like architecture and design is perfect. This is very close to it.
We are in my library, and I'm an avid reader, so of course I absolutely love the space.
Oh, all that would make it perfect actually is a black accent wall. I know it's trendy. I know she probably didn't want to do a black accent wall on a place that's 300 years old. I get that. But if everything around the fireplace, just imagine if that were like a deep green, a black, a dark blue. Like, I think that would look so cool.
I'm standing right above a sauna. It's a dry heat sauna that I installed, and it's beautiful.
Oh, that's so cool. She had a lot of creativity doing this. You could tell this is a passion project. She also probably has money coming in from a whole bunch of different sources. We don't even know how she makes her money, but she's got money to spend on this.
Now that my renovation is complete, I'm thinking I want to try to spend 4 months a year here. 2024 will be my first experience with that, and we'll see how it goes.
This is one of the places with the most beautiful sunset I ever seen. Mind-blowing.
I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And here's the thing too, okay? If we're gonna talk about buying properties here in the US, I just wanna say, okay, learn from my early mistake. I was buying all these properties in my name initially. You could buy properties in a trust. I know it sounds complicated, but buying it in a trust basically means you get additional privacy. It means that you could avoid probate in the event that you pass away. There could be some potential tax benefits to doing so depending on how it's structured. So if you're interested in setting up a trust for really cheap in less time than it takes you to watch this video, I've recently partnered with GetDynasty.com. You could use my code GRAHAM for 10% off, but basically for less than $100, you could set up a trust. They do all the work for you. They make it really easy. I wish something like this were available when I started buying real estate. So if you own a home, or if you're looking to buy a home, set up a trust. Just even if it's not through GetDynasty.com, just do research on putting a home in a trust. Do research on that. You'll realize there's so many benefits to that. But if you want to do it, GetDynasty.com. If you own a home already, put it in the trust. Just do research on it. But GetDynasty.com, for less than $100, you could do that. And use my code GRAHAM for 10% off on top of it. It's cheap, and then you get 10% on top of that as well. So enjoy. And full disclosure, by the way, I did invest in this company, so I do have a financial interest in it doing well, obviously, but I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps. I wish this were available when I started buying houses. And with that said, we'll continue on the video.
One of the most well-known towns with a €1 scheme is Musomelli, where more than 100 homes have been sold for €1. In the 50s, roughly 16,000 people lived in town. Today, there are just under 10,000.
See, that's the problem with a lot of these cities, is that the younger people who grew up here don't see the opportunity here. So they go to larger cities. And that basically means cities like this have an aging population where, there's just not the business. There's not the, virality of living in a young, hip city like there used to be. So, the city's got to do what they need to do to get people back in. And if property values are declining, businesses are leaving, there's not enough money in there, again, like I said, could be a good opportunity.
Per noi era una cosa molto grande, sono arrivate immediatamente decine di migliaia di richieste. Nel 2017 abbiamo venduto la prima casa, già 2 settimane dopo il lancio del progetto.
Yeah, you gotta think too, the people doing this, they have free time and they got money. Free time and money, what does that mean? They spend the money. This is so good for the local economies. I think this is the way to do it. The buildings are there anyway. They need to be fixed up anyway. They're just going to get an influx of money pouring into the economy and everybody wins. So I see this as such a fantastic way to go about just making the city a better place.
Ernest Fromm is an American who bought one of these premium homes for 15,000 euros.
My name is Ernest Fromm. I'm 54 years old. I purchased this home. I'm very happy with it. It's 4 stories, 2-bedroom with a living room. It's big and beautiful.
I'm so surprised that more people aren't going out of the country for either retirement or just living full time and working somewhere else. It kind of blows my mind. I think a lot of people would be able to retire if they chose to leave the country for a lot of these other places that are way less expensive. Like Jack just got back from Thailand. He was telling me, just like if you come in with like $20,000 a year, US, you could live like a king there. And there's a lot of just these arbitrage opportunities where you could take the dollar and the income that you've built up here, go somewhere else, and have a standard of living that could be 20 times greater than what you have here. Even myself, I got back from Japan, and like, yeah, the yen is weak right now compared to the dollar. But even there, I was shocked at just, how affordable things were compared to the prices here. And I'm talking like really nice steak dinners for $20 that here would be $100. Sushi dinners for $10 to $15 US that here would be $30. $40. So I just think there's so many opportunities out there for people who don't mind picking up and leaving, who have the money, who have the retirement, or who have the skills to make money online. There's so many great places to live, and they are beautiful, and they are safe, and they are just fantastic. The communities there are great. The people are amazing. So I think stuff like that is going to be gaining a lot more popularity, especially as people are here in the United States realize that they might need a lot of money to be able to retire and live a lifestyle that they want. And if they can't afford it, my gosh, other places have it, and they would love to take your money.
For 35,000 so far, I was able to get an Italian kitchen. My bathroom has beautiful marbles. I have a historical stone wall, and the house is just incredible.
That is gorgeous. I mean, again, it's interesting that, to me, sometimes we will build new constructions here in the United States, but make it look like it's old like this. They'll age certain things. Like you could age the textures of the walls. You could age some of the tile that you get and make it look like it's really old. But here, it's like you get the authentic experience. And it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm looking for possibly retirement, kind of like see what's out there in the future. The housing back home is very expensive, very crazy. So I just wanted to see what's available in Italy.
Yeah, I can't wait for the time where more people start moving out of the country. I think, okay, call me crazy. I think give it 10 to 20 years. I could see a large outflux. Is outflux a word? Is that even a word? A lot of millennials leaving the country for cheaper places. Like I said, I think a lot of them will get fed up with the cost of housing, the cost of goods and services, the cost of living, the cost of life, the cost of raising children, the cost of everything. And they could seek greener pastures somewhere else. Now, again, it could be a little complicated in terms of, citizenship and working there full time. I get it. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do to just say like, all right, I'm leaving. But I could see that growing in popularity of basically just being a digital nomad or going and retiring off $500,000 US, going somewhere else and just living it up, living like a king.
The biggest challenge for me is just the amount of carbs that they consume. Other than that, life is beautiful.
Oh, to have that be your biggest problem in life.
Oh, I eat too many carbs.
That's fantastic. Those are great problems to have. I wish on all of you that your biggest problem in life is just eating too many carbs. I wish that on you. We should all be so lucky one day.
I do sometimes feel cringy when I have people reach out to me and ask me about if they can purchase a home here and they can renovate cheaply and make money if they use it as an Airbnb. I'm very grateful that I do not know anybody doing that because I do not want this to be a village of Airbnbs.
Oh, I just thought of that. Oh, geez. The Airbnbers are going to come in and ruin it. But you know what? I would argue that it kind of makes sense to a certain degree that a lot of people, they don't want the obligation to buy a place, to be in it 400 grand, even $100,000. It's quite a commitment. A lot of people, I bet, would love to stay there for a month, enjoy it, and then go back to their daily life. I also understand why they want to keep it authentic to the village. They want owners. There is a pride of ownership when you see a community like this that's all owned by people. Like, people have an interest in the community doing better. It's not so much like, let's rent it out for a profit. So I get it. But there might be money to be made. I don't know.
A lot of people refer to this as a revival of this town, and I like to think of it more as a renaissance.
So overall, let me know what you guys think. And like I said, if you own a house and you're interested in putting that house in a trust, do some research on doing it. Again, this is something I wish that I would have done. I wish I would have done this 10 years ago. So just check out getdynasty.com. You can get started for under $100 and just use the code GRAHAM for 10% off. Again, I am invested in them, so I do have a financial interest in them doing well, but I truly believe in putting houses in trust. It makes sense. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and until next time.